Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has travelled to Kigali to attend the 26th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Talks will focus on the progress and prosperity of more than 2 billion people living in 54 independent countries in Africa, Asia, the Americas, Europe, and the Pacific that make up the Commonwealth. Arise correspondent Laila Salami is currently in Kigali and joins us now for an update. Good morning, Laila.
Good morning, Tunde. Good morning, Dr. Habati. I hope you're both well.
We're great, thanks. Great to see you, Laila. So what's on the agenda at CHOGM2022 today?
So bear with me as I take you through it because there is quite a lot on the agenda today. Don't forget that tomorrow is the official opening ceremony for the high-level meetings that are going to be taking place. But high-level meetings are kicking off today, so I'm going to run you through the entire agenda of the day. What's happened so far this morning? There was a sports breakfast that was hosted in anticipation of the Commonwealth Games that are coming up in Birmingham later on this year. The First Lady of Rwanda also hosted an event on unity and reconciliation this morning. Now, this is very important given the position that Rwanda is in right now. The East African community, we spoke about this yesterday, met on Monday to discuss the tensions between the DRC and Rwanda. And I must say, I've taken time out to speak to Rwandans around the city and find out how they feel about this tension and everything that's going on. And one thing that's been recurrent in the people that I've spoken to is for some reason there are a lot of Rwandans who feel as though the tension rose out of the fact that Rwanda was hosting CHOGM. Don't forget that Rwanda has been preparing for this event since 2018. Now, of course, we don't know and we don't have the facts of exactly what's going on. There are accusations on both sides, with the DRC accusing Rwanda of sponsoring the M23 rebels and Rwanda saying that they are not involved. But speaking to people around the city, I just wanted to share that that's something I've heard quite a lot. Now, the main event that's going on today is the Commonwealth Foreign Affairs Ministers meeting. Now, this has actually just kicked off as it's 10 a.m. now in Rwanda. Now, this is going to be chaired by the UK, and there are going to be conversations on economic development, governance and law, and also social development. The entire idea is to walk out of this summit with commitments, right? So this is one of those high-level meetings where foreign affairs ministers are going to come together to see what commitments they can individually make. Now, we spoke about this again yesterday. As we know, the Commonwealth isn't treaty-based, so these commitments don't necessarily translate into policy, but they can, and that's the hope. Now, side events for today. This morning, there was a high-level antimicrobial resistance event. Now, this was chaired by the Prime Minister of Barbados, Her Excellency Mia Amor-Motley, and it was moderated by the Deputy Prime Minister of Malta, Christopher Fern. And the entire idea of that particular summit was to accelerate political action for antimicrobial resistance based on the One Health approach. Now, the WHO One Health approach tells us that we are only as healthy as our environment and what's around us, and it connects humans, animals, and the environment all together. So the One Health approach to try and see how we can gain political support for antimicrobial resistance, that took place this morning. Now, we spoke about this again yesterday. A big event that's taking place today that President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to speak at is the Summit on Malaria and Neglected Tropical Diseases. Now, this is going on all day. It started about an hour ago, and it's going to be going on till 5:30. So we will be hearing from the President later on today regarding that. The entire idea of the Malaria Summit is to recognize the importance of investing in the fight against these diseases. Now, I must say, bear with me, in 2018, Commonwealth leaders committed to halving malaria across the Commonwealth by 2023. Now, that's next year. So the entire notion of the Malaria Summit is to review the progress that's been made so far and see how much progress has been made and how much left there is still to go.
Okay.
More events. I'm not done yet. So this morning also kicked off about half an hour ago, the summit on keeping 1.5 alive. Now, this is a huge one, an event to build momentum ahead of COP27 and to reiterate the commitments that were made at COP26 regarding the Glasgow Pact and trying to keep temperatures, global temperatures, below 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels. So that summit is currently taking place, and it's going to be on for about another hour and a half. People are going to be discussing innovative ways to accelerate climate finance as well. And then we are also going to be getting an introduction to the Kigali principles on carbon finance. Now, Rwanda, are trying to position themselves as a hub for green investment, as they are now trialing a new investment to credit check SMEs and their green credentials. So we're going to be finding out more about that policy today as well. I'm almost done, so sorry. One more to go. So we also have a high-level event on violence against women and girls that's taking place this afternoon. Now, it's important to note that the Commonwealth state that since the pandemic, domestic abuse has increased by 500% across Commonwealth countries. So this event is bringing together stakeholders to address how we can reduce the levels of domestic violence in a post-COVID world. And the Commonwealth Secretariat are also going to be speaking more about a No More campaign that they are launching. So we'll be finding out more information about that later on today. And of course, the Business Forum too. It's the final day and that is still ongoing. Back over to you in the studio.
Yesterday, I asked you about the Commonwealth Youth Forum, another major issue, in this particular meeting. But you've talked about the People's Forum, you've talked a bit about the Business Forum. I'd like to hear a little more about the young people who are participating in this. And then, last day of the Business Forum, what can we expect?
Sure, Dr. Abati. So yesterday I had an interview with a Nigerian youth delegate who was here attending the Youth Forum. And I posed questions to him about the outcomes of the Youth Forum and how he felt towards it. And this aired last night on the channel. Now, what he said is that there were so many events and genuinely he felt positive about what came out of it. But they're waiting to see if the leaders, the Commonwealth leaders, our heads of government, enact certain policies and commitments around what was discussed in the Youth Forum. Tomorrow and on Saturday, during the high-level meetings that are going to be taking place. So it's exciting. We'll see what outcomes come from that. Loads of discussions on climate change and the environment went on during the Youth Forum. Also a lot of discussions, of course, on gender inequality and genuine issues that continue to affect the youth. This also crosses over into conversations that are happening in the Business Forum regarding how we all survive and how we all move on in a post-COVID world. So we'll wait to see tomorrow and on Saturday if any commitments are made regarding what the youth who came here have had to say and what they've asked for. On to the Business Forum, Dr. Abati, that you also asked about. So this is the final day of the Business Forum. This morning, MTN hosted a breakfast, and that kicked off the day. And from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., so it's just finished, there was a summit on investing in Rwanda. Now, Rwanda is trying to position itself, or trying to become, rather, what Luxembourg is to Europe and what Singapore is to Asia. So this was opening remarks were given by the chairman of the Rwanda Development Board, and discussions went on about what makes Rwanda attractive and a place to trade and invest in, and what the opportunities are. So that was another high-level discussion that went on this morning at the Business Forum. Now, the president is actually due, President Muhammadu Buhari is actually due to also speak at the Business Forum today in an event that's actually ongoing right now. And that event is on future cities and sustainable urbanization. And he is delivering the keynote speech on that. So we'll hear from that shortly. This event, the event I'm talking about on sustainable cities, is a call to action on sustainable urbanization. Now, as we know, in a city like Lagos, where you and Tundun currently are, Lagos is a city that's trying to transition into a smart city. We're trying to transition into a city with green investments. So this is an important summit, or an important event rather, for Nigeria that's currently taking place. And to end the Business Forum today, there is also going to be a heads of governments and CEOs roundtable discussion that's going to be going on this afternoon. And there is also an event happening on investing in Botswana. So it's quite an exciting day filled with lots of events for the Business Forum, and it is the last day. So we'll see what outcomes come out of it. But I must say I am excited to hear more on the Sustainable Urbanization Summit.
And so am I. Thank you so much, Laila, for that thorough report.